This is part 2 of the lot management detail video. Now, to add a lot, we'd click on add a lot and you would put that lot number, pick the street which we added previously, and we can mark if lots of different things about that lot, what their current dues are, if there's any late fees, interest, lien fees, and this automatically defaults from when you created your association. It will default to city, state, and zip in. And then of course you can add a plot and the owner's name, first, middle, and last, and owner's address, city, state, and zip. Well, you might think that's kind of odd, given that the street is the owner, but if this is a rental property, then obviously this information could be different. Then you have some owner contact information. If you were to assign this owner a board position, again, this would pull from when you created those positions and you would assign it. If this is a block watch captain, you would select that here, and you could actually give them a different name and how they're referenced, because it possibly could be the wife that's actually the captain. And once you click this, you'll actually see where you'll be given the area that they'll be assigned to. So we'll deselect that, and here you can indicate if it's a rental or a Section 8 property, and some renters information as well, and then possibly some comments about it, and click Save. And that's really all there is to adding a lot. Next we'll go to, but one thing I do want to add about adding the lots: if your homeowners association happens to have their lot information in, let's say, a spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet, more than likely LotSoftX can import that and create the lots for you. Now, they may require you to go back and make some tweaks to the data, but generally most of the data can be added without having to add each lot individually, but we certainly need to have that feature available. Next is to edit lots, and quickly we can see here are all the lots, and we really only have a few. If you pick one, then of course you'll see we've got this one for sale. You'll get their lot code, access code, and you can actually email that to them and record that as an event as well. If a new owner was to come in, obviously you would want that lot code to change. Then you could create a new lot code which would update this lot code, and then you would then email that to them as well. And of course you can see owner's name, contact information. He happens to be the secretary, and we just have a short little comment. And then if you look down here, you can see where there's been a number of events that's been tied to this lot. And here is interesting: you can send a quick message, to email message to the owner, a renter, or to both, and by quickly just typing some text in, clicking email, would then send that to either the owner, renter, or both, depending on which you have selected. So we'll slide back up here, and let's pick another lot here. Let's see, and just so we can see some different information, so you can quickly see how quickly it loads that information. Here we have one where there's some dues, late fees, lien fees, and then what's the total amount owed, and we currently have them marked as delinquent. And of course you can very quickly update this information without any problem. And again, we can see that there are a number of events that's been tied to this. One other thing I wanted to point out is that if you happen to attach a document, and we'll see that a little bit later, to a lot, then it would actually show up here, and it would show you when you attached it and give you some kind of description, and you could click on that and see that document. So if there was something going on, let's say something legal involving this property, then very easily you could attach that document permanently, the PDF document permanently, to that lot. So next thing here is we can actually add a lot event, and again you would select the lot code and you would see their lot access code come in, and here you could update these elements as well, and it automatically defaults to the current date, and then you would select what that event is, and if of course it happens to be a financial transaction, it will reflect that accordingly to the dues, late fee, or whatever transaction type, financial transaction type you happen to pick. And you can give some sort of description here as well. You can actually mark an event to be private as well, which means that the lot owner would not see that event that's tied to their lot when they go to look at things related to their lot. And another nice feature is here, apply event to all lots. So let's say that when the dues come around, annual dues come around, you could actually create that, and it would create a transaction for every lot, and that would be about usually the only time you would do that, to apply all events when you're doing an invoice for dues. So that's how you add an event to a lot. So we'll head back, and now here's where we can upload, and so whoever the HOA board member would have to enter their valid lot code. So there, and we know, and then they would pick the attachment, and then they would pick what type of document it is. Is it a association newsletter, minutes? Is it just a document tied to the association? Is it board members? Is it a block watch newsletter or minutes? Block watch special notice, rules and regulations, or maybe it's an image, or this is where you could attach a document to a lot. So if you were to pick that, then you would still need to tell it that you want to attach it to the lot, and it defaults to no. And again, you can make that document a public document or a private document, give it some sort of description and some kind of short name to it as well. If it happened to be like a newsletter, then you can see here it might be June 2009 newsletter. The neat thing is you can actually add up to 3 different uploads at the same time. So that kind of makes it a little bit easier if you have a number of documents that you need to load. So, alright, so we'll now take a look at edit registered properties. And here, if a lot owner was to go, we'll jump back over here and register their property, wrong place, register their property, then they would fill out the form and save it, and once they did that, then it would appear here as a non-registered. So then you could register that, and then it would mark it as registered, and then you can actually show the ones that are non-registered and registered. And the interesting thing is that whatever primary email address you set up for that association when you created the association will also receive an email letting you know that someone has requested and their property to be registered. Now here's manage committees, and so right now we only have one committee here, and it's the welcome committee, and you can pick active or inactive committees, or you can create a committee. So you would give that committee a name, assign a chairperson some kind of contact information. It could be cell phone or even an email address. Select the lot of that individual, and it's going to show you their lot code, access code, and their name, and what is the purpose of that committee. So basically we're creating a new committee here that might be, in this case, the picnic committee. And if you check this box, it says that you have permission to publish that contact information so everyone can see it. And once you save that, then now you've created a new committee, and that committee person can then, through the services offered, blog activities related to their committee. Here you can make a committee inactive, or you can actually update a committee as well. So here, the welcome committee, we can see the name, who the chairperson is, their contact information, and where they live, their access code, and just that happens to be their name. So the option here is that you could actually assign, let's say, maybe the wife of the property owner, and you give the purpose, and here we show that we do have permission to publish that information, and we are in update mode. So we'll just cancel that. If I say get details, then basically down here it's going to show me any of the blogs that the committee chairperson has entered on that committee. So that is how you manage your committees. And then the last thing is to create a data export. And again, HOA board member would have to enter their valid lot code, preferably. And then you can actually select what sort of export set you want. You want to export all the lots, only lots without emails, with emails, ones that are rentals, delinquent, or lots that have some kind of dues balance. And what you end up getting here is, and we'll show you here in just a second, a file you can save in CSV format that then can be brought into a spreadsheet, and from there labels can be made, or merged letters or something like that. But this shows you what's in each field. As you can see, the first field's not used, and then some status information, lot number, combined lot number and street, owner information, and how much they owed. So if I happen to pick all lots and say create export, then it's going to ask me to save a file and give it a name, and then I can open that up. In this case, we can see that it would then be an Excel spreadsheet, and could then just do just about anything you wanted to from there. So that is part 2 of the lot management functions of LotSoftX.